Yep, let's try it.
All right. Tell me if we're going. And we're live, finally.
There we go. Hey.
All right. My name is Zeke Kyle, and this is Nolan.
Hello, hello, lads. What's going on?
And we are Carpe Noctem, Seize the Night. We had some technical difficulties for a minute there.
Can't. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Fucking. Yep.
and
Like the simplest of mistakes. There we go. It gets you every single time.
joining us actually right now, it looks like Pinochet Ball has jumped in.
How are we doing, gentlemen?
There we go.
Oh, better late than never, cunt.
You just
Couldn't
missed
really
it.
be saying
We had
that.
we had some off-air trying to go on-air troubleshooting.
Oh boy, what'd I miss?
Uh, just we had they changed up the fucking stream key on me,
Oh,
so
nice.
I hit the live button and nothing happened.
Oh, rough.
All right.
We're live now, obviously.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, jeez.
Let's
So I
see.
guess we should go into our first story, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
I,
First.
I just saw the one you sent come through about the California encouraging. I guess we'll get to it later, but yeah, that's some mind blowing shit right there, man. Encouraging kids to go commit crimes.
Oh yeah, like the fucking. They're basically in California. They're telling their children to go and steal their parents' gun, and turn it into their
Yep.
teachers.
It's like what
Actually,
the actual
let's start
fuck?
with that. Let's start with that. That's probably one of the most punchiest stories we have. Um, okay, so was it in fucking the Orwell book? Like it was like, oh yeah, in the public schools they teach kids to rat on their children in Brave New World. Children don't have parents, but children are used as like informants and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. California, you know,
Yeah,
come
this
on,
is like
kids, go grab your
Soviet
parents'
Union
gun.
style shit,
Dude, I fucking think Stalin would be fucking better armed if he had a fucking policy like this, mate.
right?
Dude, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like, okay, and to what end? And to what end? It's not like little Jamal is gonna go grabbing his fucking father's high point. It's not like it's gonna go and in fact the first time I was successfully mugged in the US was in LA.
Why there of all places?
Oh, because fucking the first time was in Manhattan. It was with a cracked out fucking black man. Yeah, you couldn't even level the gun to be honest. And then in fucking LA, I was with a bunch of Hispanics with high points. There we go. It's not like fucking Juan is gonna go take Daddy's little high point. That's not gonna be the case. It's gonna be little Timmy and Jimmy. You go take Daddy's decent fucking kept rifle that's cleaned regularly and is used for house defense. It's fucking
And is
blatant.
probably locked away in a safe or something.
Hopefully.
And the kid just goes in there and takes it.
Right, and from what I'm reading, it like in the PSA that they had, the kid goes up, puts the gun in his backpack, walks it up to his teacher, and slams it onto her desk. It's like, yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. Like, how's that supposed to work out? Like, the kid just like
Takes the gun
brings
to
it and
school.
like just brings it to school. Like, that's not going to cause any problems.
Right. Jesus Christ, what were they thinking with this?
Fucking absolute madness.
Oh well, oh well.
It's
No,
it's just it's fucking tragic because California is such. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen on earth. Like anywhere up and down the coast and even inland, the redwoods. Like, it's just such an amazing fucking state, but it has to be ruined because it's run by communists.
best land, worst people. There we go.
Yeah.
It looks like the video's already been taken down, by the way, by YouTube. I just went to go and find it for a second there.
Which video?
The video of
Oh,
the
yes,
PSA
right?
of the kid taking the gun to school for his teacher. It's already been removed.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we host bonfire parties and like if you look at a satellite map of where we are in Australia, we host it in the deep green part, these fucking rolling hills and lakes and trees and We had some internal photographs. It was the best fucking photography I've ever done in my goddamn life. And that, when I was in the hills of California, that pales in fucking comparison. It's the most beautiful fucking land I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude.
Rolling hills, valleys, lakes, rivers. The only thing that ruins it fucking naturally is the fucking mountain lions, and that's it.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go back there, you got to check out the Muir Woods outside of San Francisco. That is some of the most absolute beautiful country I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible.
Yeah.
They,
I was gonna say,
they've never sent an Australian to San Francisco unless he wanted them to come back today.
a few years ago, I went to San Francisco, and the fucking place is a goddamn nightmare. But outside of the city, it's the scene, like you said, the scenery and the mountainside is fucking gorgeous. But the people are so fucking shitty.
Yeah, even San Francisco is nice to look at from afar, but once you get down inside of it, like it's really fucking strange. You'll be walking down the street and it's real nice and waspy and upscale, and then you literally turn a corner, walk a block, and there's heroin addicts lined up sleeping on the street. There's shit all over the place, garbage, heroin needles everywhere. It's madness.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I was in this fucking. I believe it was in Burbank, and we were on this like one street. I was there with my sister because like my family does not want to send my sister traveling alone for obvious reasons.
It's a smart decision.
Smart decision, conservative decision, good decision. We're on this particularly Jewish street that we didn't plan to be on. I wanted to go to a Harbor Freight to pick up some like really cheap fucking air pressure regulators, but we end up in this Jewish deli, and they had a discount for ordering an fucking what is it called? Uh, Yiddish. Now, the thing is, I can speak a very low dialect of German, and that's
It's like
very
German.
Yiddish. And I was like, okay, so I just ordered in fucking low German, and they're like, oh yeah, so what tribe are you from? And I was like, oh no, I'm just German. I'm sitting there with my sister, like very obviously goyish, but I guess Grandma Goldstein's eyesight was going a little bit out. But yeah, no, it was bit of a shock. Anyway, that's a nice family story. Still got the discount though, by the way.
That's good.
Who's Jewing who?
That's always the question, right? Shit. So, Pinochet,
Sir.
do you do you like anything about this gun ad? Do you think we could turn this around in any form, or do you think it's just too ridiculous that it just?
Yeah, it's on its face ridiculous. I don't think that's it refutes itself.
Hey, hold on now. I have a good spin for this one actually. A lot of the people that live in California now are illegal immigrants.
True.
They take their parents' gun to school and just slam it on the desk, and the cops get called to school, and we deport 60 people.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Very good idea.
Not to mention, if their parents are illegals and they take their illegal parents' weapons to school, we're probably going to get some of those Fast and Furious guns back.
Oh yeah, we can finally get a refund.
There we go. No, it's one of those sayings like never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. In fact, I would suggest if you are if you're guys in California, I would say produce videos that are more extreme than this. Get them to accelerate, get them to make big fat fucking mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple as that.
Like, I'll have to think of something. I'll think of something later. I'll think of a decent campaign we could possibly start, or a video, just a massively accelerationist shit.
No, just a poster with a small young child with a high point pointed right at his head, accidentally, because he has it in his hand. He's got the finger on the trigger and his hand on the grip, and it's pointed like at the top of his skull and saying like, bring in your parents' guns to school, like keep our country safe. And it's just a kid pointing a gun to his head.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, do you?
That's off the top of my head. I think you guys could think of something way smarter than that.
Oh, what that kid would probably. We don't want them taking a bit off the top of their heads. Anyway, now do you have anything like this in Aussie land?
Well, no, for very fucking obvious reasons.
Yeah, not anymore. Not since Port Arthur. So,
I mean,
Dude,
not like guns in general, because they took the guns back in like the '90s, right?
well, yeah, it was basically it was '96 when the actual like
Gun
there was so many fucking stories about that, but yeah. In fact, a Rhodesian story. Who wants to hear a Rhodesian story about the mandatory gun buyback in Australia?
oh, I would love to hear that.
Okay, the Rhodesians notably fled to Australia. Thing is, when the Rhodesians fled, it was like the late 70s, so they brought their automatic modified FALs to Australia. The Australian government estimates there was 5,000 of these. Guess how many were seized by the Australian government?
None.
Fucking zero. Zero of them were seized.
They're buried on some guy's fucking lot.
Yeah. In a fucking an oil drum covered in mineral oil, buried 4 feet under, and every fucking the fucking highest born son, I bet, get some fucking a location, a fucking treasure map on how to dig it up.
Right, son. Look, these bloody abos. They would fucking stop the revolution. You can go out back. Go out. Yeah, I marked X on the spot. Dig them up and hold this
Yeah.
land.
No, it's come down to a point of like people throw us in with the fucking Brit bongs, for the love of God. It's not butter knives over here, mate. It's fucking Bowie knives. It's fucking good fucking 10 inches of steel.
That's not a knife.
Yeah, if when I can, I try to carry a knife on my hip, but I ain't got no 10 inches of fucking steel. Back when I lived in Florida, I used to keep a machete, and we just clear out woods and shit and cut down trees.
Nice. Where'd you live in Florida?
Where did I move? Or
Yeah.
I moved to New York.
No, where did you live in Florida?
Oh, I lived in South Florida, and just like 2 hours south of Tampa. I lived in like a small area.
Oh, no shit.
Tampa. Jesus Christ, man. The only place that can fucking rival the humidity over here.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I fucking deal with it every day. This past September was the worst. It was the hottest fucking September we've ever had on record.
Yeah, I lived out like southwest and Gulf Coast area.
Nice. Yeah, that's decent. Nice area.
It was, and then they started tearing down the projects, and the inner cities got moved out into the suburbs. And
wow.
Yeah, Tampa's still fucking really weird, man. It's like there's nice gentrified like housing the area is being gentrified. There's a lot of younger couples coming in, driving property values up, and then there's a highway, and then right on the other side of the highway is fucking Section 8, and there's a lot of bleed through. Like
it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird.
Like,
okay, I've got a question. High humidity. Over here, you can actually see Jews very easily because they look like the what fucking game is it? Yeah, they look like the Hellgast from that movie because they wear these little respirators over here, because high humidity plus I guess it's like there's something in the air that they have a genetic disease that makes them prone to infection from.
Jesus,
they wear these little respirators over here, and you can spot them. They're rare.
God, my asthma. I can't take the humidity.
Pretty fucking much, So yeah, we used to call them gassies over here for a little bit. Because not because we were particular bad guys, but because they look like gas masks. They look like little gas masks, so we call them gassies.
Double entendre. I mean, like that's fucking brilliant.
Unintentional. Azio. This is an unintentional double entendre. I do not intend to gas Australia's greatest ally.
Hey, wait, hold on. Australia's greatest ally. That's America's greatest ally.
We're
Dude, it's
we're gonna start
Israel-
fighting over who loves Israel the
No.
most.
To be fair, Trump put material tariffs on every single nation, up including Israel, apart from Australia.
Now, in Florida, I'd never really seen the gas masks. To be honest, I don't think they did that too much.
Okay, so we've got this we've got this particularly aggressive fungus over here.
Yeah, it's
So
called
yeah,
Judaism.
cordyceps plus Judaism equals fucking end times. The red heifer has been born.
Cordyceps.
Damn it. We were so close. But no. Yeah, in Florida, my problem was I seen a lot of fucking Cubans and Haitians literally everywhere. And
Yeah, a lot of Haitians down South Florida.
Haitians. I thought you
They're
said
like-
Asians. I misheard you. Sorry.
Yeah, Haitians. There's a lot of Haitians in South Florida. There's not a whole lot up in this area, but yeah, tons of fucking Cubans.
Oh,
But
dude.
the only the one redeeming factor though is like Cubans largely tend to vote GOP,
Right, but
especially the older generations mainly.
Because of the shock. I mean, like, dude, we had this fucking situation over here. We fucking had this point system in Australia. A fucking Civnat's wet dream.
Oh
Right?
God.
You had the fucking degree, you had the fucking knowledge, you could get into this goddamn fucking country. We had these Nigerian doctors, lawyers, and engineers come in, right? Granted, first generation, some fucking tame fucking Nigerians, you know? No fucking problem, no issues. Now, second generation Nigerians. They used to call them Sudanese gangs in Melbourne. Now they call them African gangs, you know why?
because Sudan is too racist. I don't know.
Nope,
Well, didn't they
'cause
split Sudan up?
the second generation Nigerians joined in with the Sudanese in hacking people to death in the Melbourne CBD and raping women.
Huh?
Jesus.
Racial solidarity.
Yep.
Fucking
Yep.
crazy.
Hey, good for you, Africans.
Well, it's one of those
Get
things.
together with your African brothers to rape
the
some.
commies bring it up. The commies bring it up. They say like, just because a guy is smart, and he has a smart wife, doesn't mean he's gonna have smart children. And they conveniently forget about it when it's a smart fucking darky. Surprise, surprise,
Yeah.
lad. You expose a fucking a fucking what is it called? A fuck up in their logic, and they'll switch planes. It almost means like, they don't really care for the argument at all. They just want more darkies in your nation.
Yeah. It gets a bit fucking much, to be honest.
Yeah. I carry a chainsaw, to be fair. The chainsaw, over here in WA, we're working on the chain Bowie knife. That's a 6-inch automatic assault knife.
I want one.
Does it have the folding grip and bump stock too?
Oh.
Yeah, to be fair, it also has a high capacity fuel tank
Fully
and
fully semi-automatic.
fully semi-automatic also, yeah.
Can I get a double barrel?
Double barrel, yes, also, it's just,
So whenever
Oh,
you
dude,
want, man, get it.
I could fucking go on this for fucking days, mate. It was fucking ridiculous.
All right. Now that we're on to the whole Melbourne thing, right? Is it okay to be white in Australia?
No, it isn't. Fucking gas yourself, Whitey.
Yeah, isn't that like this most recent iteration? I guess it's like season 2, season 3 of It's Okay to Be White, and I think that was like one of the first cases that popped up was in Australia. They started, the kvetching starting hot and heavy already. So,
Well, it's one of these things like I don't want to shit on America too hard. I'll be fucking doing my tour there in a bit.
no, just do it.
Okay. I was born in a nation that had the entire nation of Australia had the demographics of Maine. It was a 95% white country. Only recently it dropped down to like 83, and then it went back up because of the economy went to shit, and now we're scratching at 86, 87% European. Um, so it was the prime time to put that question forward because all the parties that had been advocating for immigration of fucking j- orange, brown, brindle people into Australia was on one side of the aisle, and all the other fucking parties that were saying no, we don't want fucking more of these people here. We've already got enough mouths to feed in this godforsaken desert. We're on the other side of the aisle. Pauline Hanson brought up the concept. Is it okay to be white? And are you going to accept the rise of anti-white racism in Australia?
And it turns out no, white
Nope.
white Australia is not allowed.
Yep, white Australia's not allowed. That was so adverse to the public. The member for Greens, who is a Jew, brought up the fact that specifically Anglos owned all the biggest companies in Australia. But then on my local radio as well, um, good old 92.9, they brought up the fact that he was Jewish. And in fact, the top five out of seven of the top companies in Australia were actually owned by Jews. And he's
Oh,
also a
go
Jew.
figure.
So roughly 83%.
Yeah. It was a weird kind of comment where we could just like openly talk about this minority that they're less than 0.1% of Australia. And now we're talking about them. This dumb cunt, because he broke white people up into specific ethnicities, made it fucking kosher to talk about Jewish influence. He had to catch himself mid-sentence. It was the funniest fucking thing to look at. I was sitting there with my father as well. I mean, my father, he grew up in an ethno state. He grew up under the White Australia policy. The only fucking brownies in the Australia he grew up in were the Aborigines who were, like what, a couple thousand up in the Northern Territory,
Right.
and and ambassadors to the nation. That was it.
Now, oh yeah, and do you want to talk about these signs and stuff that you had messaged me
Oh yeah.
about? Yeah.
Basically, we don't. Light Society doesn't have that much of a presence in South Australia, apart from a group that is run by a Lebanese man. Um, he claims to be, fucking Indo-European Lebanese, but we don't really buy all that bullshit. We didn't expect any kind of effort in South Australia, but the effort against Sarah Hanson Young was actually surprising to us, and in fact, we found that we had so many fucking allies there, so many of these small and isolated groups. And that's what I say, like, if you have five guys around you that are willing to do work, they're willing to actually push forwards. Because you've got five guys around you, that means you've got way more guys around you that you're just not seeing yet. It took a fucking interstate organization to figure out there were nearly 100 people in South Australia that were working for us without knowing of each other.
Right. And it can get hard to tell sometimes because you think you got to check out, you got to test the waters a little bit and not going
Mm.
head first, but trying to figure out someone's power level and all that.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, it's always been good. We'll be talking to some of those guys. Just,
Hello?
not it's been a pretty big gain. The government has shot itself in the foot and shown itself to be the enemy of the mass majority of Australia by definition. And we're just fucking, reaping the rewards. We can like target anyone in politics, and they're done at this point. So let's have a fucking game of it, eh?
Right.
Shit.
Now, here like around where I live, in it like with people I work with, there have been a few people that I thought were practically good guys, and then you talk to them in private, and Jesus fucking Christ, they can be further to the right than we are.
It's a big surprise.
It's wild as fuck.
Wait, who are you talking about?
So when I'm at work and I talk to like people, it can tend to when I'm talking to them, it's sometimes like things are normal at work, but then when I get like hang out with them after work, they're some of these people will drop bombs that I wasn't even expecting. Like,
It all comes out.
I'm trying to ease into it a little bit, and then they just fucking go, oh yeah, these, the whole fucking meme about catapulting them over the border and shit comes up.
Goddamn trebuchets and send these Mexicans back over the border. Yeah, dude, I've heard like boomers, like you get them a little sauced up in the bar and get them a little, release their inhibitions a little bit, and they'll go full fucking exto on Mexicans, man. They they don't play around, dude.
Right, and then what was it here in the northern states? I didn't know this, but because I'm from down south, but they were talking about how they use the phrase Canadian for black people, for blacks, instead of like to be crypto while like in public. So it'd be like these fucking Canadians and shit like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, Jesus.
Hey, can we check the chat here? I've got somebody just messaged me saying they can't really hear you too well, Zeke.
Okay, fuck. All right.
Hold on. Check the YouTube chat. Saying, hey, hey, YouTube chat, can you everything coming in pretty clear?
Am I
Loud
good?
and clear.
Am I good over here? Can you hear me?
I mean, I can hear you just fine. I don't know.
I'll check the stream.
This might just be an aberration or aberration on his end.
Ruthless says it's good. Everyone's saying I'm good.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Never mind.
Yeah, there we go.
As you
Seems
were.
fine.
All right, yeah, I turned my microphone volume up a little bit so it'll pick up a bit better. I try to keep it a little low because my computer's a loud motherfucker. So I don't want to hear. I don't want the sound of a wind tunnel going off in the background. But
Yeah.
I turned it up a little bit to pick up my voice better. All right.
Yeah, okay. Just get rolling, eh?
All right. Now, yeah. So I will say be careful about what you say to people and out in the public space, but try and feel them out a little bit if you get the chance. See where they are.
It's one of the things we've had so much success in actually going to, at least in WA. That's all I can speak for myself. The rest of the states keep this, pretty down low for obvious reasons. We've had success in, doing public polling and stuff like that, and actually talking to people in the public. But just, keeping it grey-shirted, keeping it, non-denominational, as you guess you could say.
Right.
And like saying, grabbing the people who have our opinions. We've found that that's nearly the majority of our fucking state. Like, oh yeah, even the granted, our boomers are different because our boomers grew up in an explicit ethno state with no visible minorities, and they've lived their life through a changing and developing progressive Australia. And it's been shit,
Right.
to say the least.
Like, I don't understand why this country's gone down the tubes. Well,
Oh,
Look at all what's the color around here? Is it a bit darker now than it was 10 years ago?
yeah. What changed? What are the variables here?
I can't seem to make a hypothesis of this situation. It's got fucking more orange and fucking yellow and brindle and brown, and it's
We're
been getting
all
shit.
one race.
Well, if they all just accept our values, they're as American or Australian as you are.
Oh, fucking squeaky toy, you son of a bitch.
I was not ready for that, you fucker.
I keep it with me. I keep it on the desk all the time.
God.
All the time, right?
I wish I had
No,
known
God.
that was coming.
I mean, it is like that's fucking R the Donald. Like, that's it, man. You gotta have it.
My dad
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fucking R.
But yeah.
Donald's incarnate. It's fucking absurd.
R Donald,
Dude,
gang,
fucking-
gang.
My dad, my own father, is probably more right than fucking Bolsonaro right now.
Right.
But yeah, it was
Well,
Well, because my state voted against gay marriage. My state my state is like the quote unquote whitest out of all of Australia, apart from Tasmania, just because of our Aboriginal fucking population. And then on top of that, also my state was the only state that tried to destroy the government that got rid of our specific racial immigration policy.
now, my old man is a bit of an oddball because he's like he doesn't think we should be racist. At the same time, he doesn't want any of these people coming over the border. He wants to stop immigration, full stop. Um, what was it? Now, I told my dad about my fashy ways, and he didn't react the way I thought he would. He didn't tell me, don't ever talk to me or my daughter again. But no, or my sister in the sense. But he never, he didn't reject me. He just said, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still his son, and then I always have a place to come home to. And we should always try and treat our family that way.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, politics shouldn't. I've seen it a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've seen it enough, and where politics become like a really fiercely polemical family, and it can really fuck things up for certain people. But for the most part, like people need to be able to compartmentalize. Like you can't just like maybe your brother or sister or whatever is a shit lib.
Right.
It's not like you just completely like, nah, fuck you, mom, I'm never talking to you again. That's just dumb. I mean, like I said, everybody's got to compartmentalize.
Yeah. It's one of the things that like one of the biggest underpinnings of this entire movement, this entire ideology, is Aristotle's writing on democracy, especially like his understanding of the concept of phyla, a fraternity of blood and flesh. The quanta of phyla is the family. We are not a race if not for our own families, if not for the families of families. Families are the most important thing to us, and that's why we normally only go after families.
Oh fuck.
And that's why and that's exactly why the lobbyists and et al. Have been basically propagandizing and destroying the nuclear family unit in the United States for the past 50, 60, 70 years.
Absolutely.
And that's the prime directive. I mean, you fucking break up the families, people are like putty in your hands. You can do what you can, they will be completely subjugated to the state. You got them. You got your fucking boot on their neck.
Absolutely. Well, see, like I no mean to Anglo post here, but one of the fucking benefits of the monarchy, or the idea of a royal family as a governing body, is that how can you get a politician to not be corrupt? How can you get a politician to not sell himself out? Well, he forces his children to live in the nation he created.
Exactly.
How many democratically elected members, including the US, because I do have this number, remain in the area that they governed?
None of them.
Less than 10%. Most of them moved to another state.
It's virtually none of them.
Yeah.
It's.
You want to make a man honest? Make his children live in the shit pie he started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, historically, a monarch has a much greater vested interest in the prosperity of his nation, because I mean, you're going to leave it to your children. I mean, you're not when you have a democratic system over here, somebody's going to get into office and he knows he's only got 2, 4, 6 years, however long it is, in office. So he's going to do everything he can to make as much money as he can while he's there, and just pull a jack move on the system for a good 2, 3 or 2, 4, 6 years, whatever, and then he's out, he's gone, or he goes to work for a lobbying firm or what have you. But if a monarch you could trust that these people wanted to see that the nation would do well, and like that's one of the things that Hoppe Hans Hermann Hoppe talked about, and that the book God Democracy, the God That Failed. He was basically made the case that monarchy would be a step up from what we have now, going back to a monarchy.
I mean, to be fair, look at the leaders of Europe. How many of them actually have children? The media in the US, how many of them have children? In fact, the one with the most children, Tucker Carlson, well, his position is his, analysis of the American situation is probably one of the most trustworthy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely I know some people that know some people type of thing,
Do you know
and
some people?
I know some people that know some people that know Tucker Carlson or work with people that work with him, and he's definitely a third position guy.
Mm.
He's ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's couch language, to be honest. But
Well, yeah.
also,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, like Tucker, he espouses basically all of the what you call it, all of the not talking points, but all of the fucking uh, laws and shit that we want to pass through. He kind of pushes those through. Like he's perfectly fine with now, like with the whole abolishment of the 14th, or not abolishment, recorrecting the 14th and all that such. But he's basically pro-white and all without being explicitly saying it, and even he uses the whole dog whistling thing. Well, say at
Yeah,
the
he's
same
great.
time he says he doesn't speak in dog whistles. He's just being clear about what he says.
Yeah. Okay. So when he starts like waxing critical of global late stage global capitalism and the
mm,
evils therein, yeah, it's like that's definitely third position talk.
well, it really comes down to a point of like, when you're talking to these people, when you kind of understand the path of rhetoric that these people are going on, it's the reason why people like Stephen Bennell, Destiny, a Twitch streamer, says that he would rather talk to a Nazi than a magapede or something like that. It's because a magapede because he sees them as the same people. When a magapede goes on a show, he's really just one of our guys trying to couch his opinions in lesser and softer phrases. And Destiny says as well. He's like, oh well, like why do you want Muslims gone from this country? And he's like, well, the Magapede has some kind of like expansive argument on that, but the Nazi who I'd rather deal with says it straight. And it's like why do you have why do you hate brown people? And it's like, well, the Magapede has some like fucking roundabout argument way of dealing with it. Well, the Nazi says they commit more crime in general and they're more violent society. It's like, well, he's being honest in his dishonesty, to be honest.
Right.
That's apology, but yes.
And the kind of thing is just like we have to make it to where we don't actually come off as just hateful people, because while we are angry, I wouldn't say we hate the people that we're up against. Because I see them, I don't see them as like I see them as being used as tools against us, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't, they essentially have lost their own free will in a sense, which is kind of sad, but it's the reality of it.
And they don't even know.
No, they don't. They're being used as and they just think it's another opportunity for free, an easy life.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say, like, are they being used? Yes. They're being used as a tools against you. Yes. Are they conscious of this? Well, it really doesn't matter.
No.
The method in which being used is a gain for them and a loss for you. That's all they care about. In terms of hatred, um, I'll say two things. Showing hatred in media is not a good idea. It's not very well.
No.
Showing do they have contempt for you? Is hatred natural? Yes, it is. There's a reason why it's built into us as people. But yeah, it's one of the things you need to disguise it as something else than media. Absolutely. But do you have it? Natural.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Alrighty. So what's next up on the docket here? We got
Well, we could go into what was it? Birthright citizenship bet.
Oh, what was the one that you pulled up last night? Was that the
Mike Pence.
the caravan? It was another shit libby argument for these people are economic migrants and blah, blah,
Let me
some
see.
fucking shit libby bullshit.
Let me see where I threw that. I don't know if I sent that directly to you or
No, it's in the
in the stack.
yep.
Uh,
I don't think it's in the stack. I think it's in general. Let's see here. What we got?
oh, the New York
Filing
Times thing.
programs,
Here we
people.
go. I'll bring it up on the screen real quick. So, let's see.
All right. You want me to read this one
Just go.
whenever
yeah,
you're ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Let's see here. Common sense on the caravan. A group of desperate migrants walking toward the Texas border is not a threat. We have laws to protect us and them. Here we go.
This whole thing is ridiculous. I was saying
Like on its face, ridiculous.
well, the thing is they're trying to make these people out as victims of their own creation, and it's kind of fucked up. Because like this goes into
They
the whole
are victims of their shitty country. I mean,
right, but it's they're victims of their own circumstance that they created, and
yes.
I'm not one to save people from their own stupidity.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for self-inflicted wounds.
But now, now the whole thing about we have laws to protect them and us. It's like, well, they're not being enforced. First of all, if they were, these people wouldn't be marching 15,000 at a fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, this is when you have this, I mean, it's just completely unsustainable. You can't have 15,000 fucking people just show up and all of them are starting like asylum claims. Like this, it's on its face ridiculous. You're going to immediately backlog the system. And of course, what's going to happen? They're going to build a bunch of, like Trump was talking about, tent cities. They're going to have a bunch of tent cities and be like, oh my God, he's literally Hortler. He's building concentration camp. I mean, you can just see this shit coming down the pike right now. I'm like, man, we have to do something. And I think it's a good thing that we're sending so many troops down there right now and just stretching all that concertina wire. I mean, that's some pretty good optics right there, man. Like, go ahead, try to cross.
Right.
Get up in there.
Shred yourself apart, basically.
Yeah. Have fun.
Now the thing is like the reason why they say they're not a threat and all this such is these people. I think these people like they've been socialized to the point where the threat center of their brain is no longer functioning.
Yeah, their fucking amygdala is like stripped.
They can't detect a threat. The whole racism thing is tied to the threat center of the brain. We see this as a problem because these people are different from us.
Yeah. I mean, they're all they see is like these poor, unwashed masses. Like, haven't you read the plaque at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty? Give me your tired and like, shut the fuck up. You want to make that argument? Go ahead and tell Molly Tibbetts' parents or Kate Steinle's parents that these people aren't fucking dangerous. And you're gonna let in 15 fucking thousand? You don't think there's gonna be a couple bad eggs in there? If not a lot, like come the fuck on.
Right.
Like you said, their threat sensors just gone.
15,000. Can someone get the general Hispanic crime rate? In fact, are they mostly from Honduras?
They're mostly Guatemalan and Honduran.
Yeah, Guatemala and Honduras.
And Mexico has a fucking border wall to deal with these particularly violent cunts.
They
Yeah.
actually broke through and punched a hole through it and fucking
They
beat the shit out of a bunch of people.
Open fire on Mexican police. Open fire. Which means that they've got fucking, they're packing something, aren't they? They're fucking packing something.
Yeah, not a threat. They're not a threat, not at all.
Well, if you were not a threat, you wouldn't bringing weapons to the border and attack. Opening fire, throwing rocks, and leaving people mangled and fucking bloodied.
Yeah,
to be fair, to talk about the cuckolded American government, I don't want to say that in like harsh terms, but yeah, even when a government like that responds to a fucking situation with tanks. I saw in a video more Abrams tanks than my nation has in total being shipped on a fucking train all the way to the south border. If that's a response from a controlled government,
That
Jesus fucking Christ.
that's not really. I think people do that shit all the time. They will see like a regular movement of equipment and be like, "Oh my god, there's some fucking crazy stuff going on." It's like, no, it's just they're moving equipment. All that stuff is heading east. That video that you're talking about, the like huge long train full all kind of up armored vehicles and shit. Most of that stuff's probably going to Fort Bliss
Damn.
in El Paso.
Okay.
It's probably just a regular movement. You're probably
Even
not gonna have tanks and shit at the border.
yeah, even disqualifying that train, because they played on the news here so much, being like, Trump is a fascist. Look at this fucking military might playing. Even the 5,000 servicemen he sent down to the border, um, even that is, is a considerable statement. I mean, if these guys, because God, I wish I actually put it in the news stack, but yeah, they were saying that they opened fire on Mexican police with automatic weapons. Granted, from South America, it's not on fucking unheard of.
I wish
Yeah.
I wish I was allowed to have automatic weapons. But no, you got my hopes up and dashed them out pretty quickly. Because I wasn't aware of the whole thing. I just seen the video of that shit heading to Texas. So I was like, ooh, this looks fun. Just a line of fucking tanks heading down south.
I mean, it would. I mean, if it was true, if that shit actually is indeed going down to the border, I mean, hell yeah, I'm all about it. But I don't I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a regular movement of they're just moving equipment around.
Right. I mean,
In total,
if we
Australia has 85 modified Abrams with slightly better transmissions and slightly better bearings that do the turn. Like that's like the modification to the Abrams because it was already pretty fucking solid when we got it. We've got 85 in total. I think only like 60 something are functioning. It's like whatever,
I think
and they're
we
all
had
up in
80
fucking dollars.
I was gonna say I think we had 85 alone on that train.
Yeah, dude, easily fucking 85 alone.
Dude, there were Abrams, there were up armored Humvees, there were Brads. I think I saw a couple of Strikers. Like they would. That's a lot of fucking firepower to bring down on the heads of a bunch of Guatemalans. I don't think. I don't. Yeah, like I said, I
Whole
think
bunch.
it's.
Wait.
Could
Whole
you-
bunch are not enough, mate. Whole bunch are not enough. I need that answer right now.
I was gonna say, could you imagine like armored Nazgul? Yeah, we have a bunch of Eric Strikers heading down to the south border. No, but could you imagine like the optics on that? I could see like this like a shitty cartoon of like some little bean child throwing a rock at the tank and the tank just blowing them away, like for like propaganda or some shit.
Well, if you can handle it correctly, right? China's handled that fucking situation, that, bad military optics situation pretty fucking well.
Well, that's where they get the nickname Zipperheads now.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that until recently that they got called Zipperheads because they get run over by tanks.
Dude, fucking Vietnam. Fucking Red Gum can go fuck themselves. Vietnam was a vacation for most Australians.
But yeah. Now, Pinochet, if you want, you can pick up on this article and move along a little bit further.
All right, let's see where we are at. All right. The caravan of people slowly making their way on blistered feet and thin hopes toward America's southern border sometimes seems like an election gift to President Trump, giving him fresh meat to throw to his base on the eve of fateful midterm elections. The Central Americans, estimated at about 3,500 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Those numbers seem a bit off from what I last heard.
Yeah. Many of them women and children. Like, of course. I mean, but of course they're going to put that in there. But okay, yeah, there's also many of whom are also fighting aged males. So,
Right.
let's see here. Many of them, women and children, and fighting age males, have morphed in the president's morphed in the president's immigrant bashing demagoguery. Demagoguery? I mean, who the
Demagoguery.
fuck wrote this? Into an onslaught of
A
illegal
A
aliens.
liberal arts major wrote this fucking piece, can't mate? He's gonna, or he or she is gonna know some, she or Z is gonna know some fucking real fancy words that don't really mean shit.
Let me see if I can find the name at the bottom. Oh,
So,
no. It's just by the editorial board of fucking.
Editorial board. So
yeah,
by a
some
kike, right?
fucking-
I mean,
some intern shit lib.
um,
Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Anyway,
Can I say that on the stream? The K word?
if we get shut down, we can just start again. It sucks, but
Yeah, fuck it.
but we'd
yeah, I
have.
say it all the time, dude. I mean, on Radcap Radio and wherever. I mean,
We're small enough right now where
Heel
we can
Turn
probably
likes
get away
to-
with it.
Heel Turn likes to do the dog whistling stuff, and I understand that. But on Radcap Radio,
Hey,
we keep it real exto. So
We could do kayaks if you want, you know.
Kayaks.
I mean, we get
Dude,
away
I
with a
love-
lot.
But
Our show
Dude,
gets away with a lot on YouTube. So.
yeah,
And some of the lut guys like actually kayaking there because you can get attacked by fucking saltwater crocodiles. And this one time a kayak was thrown into the river and was pierced by a single tooth of a saltwater crocodile.
Jesus.
Yeah, unfortunately he shook the kayak for a long period of time and then left the kayak at the bottom of the lake, and it took a whole bunch of guys to get the kayak back to the surface.
I see.
All right. See, we're
Talking about a kayak here.
Um,
all right. Where were we here?
let's. For now, like, we'll keep it a
I
bit
just-
lower, in terms of things until I can get some backup set up and stuff. Or you guys,
Yeah.
if you guys want to get a backup going too.
Okay. Let's see.
Hmm.
All right. We into an onslaught of illegal aliens concealing criminals and unknown Middle Easterners, which is true. All enabled by Democrats and Mr. Trump. Wouldn't be surprised by George Soros, a favorite villain of far-right conspiracy mongers. Yeah, because he definitely didn't state on it. I believe it was actually a New York Times article, or WSJ or whatever. Just before Trump was due to be elected, I think it was in 2017 or 20. No, it was 2016. I think. I'll pull it up and then we can put it in the description afterwards.
All right.
It was an article that it was an op-ed by George Soros himself talking about how he's going to be dumping tons of fucking money into all these NGOs that are going to help migrants and start these caravans. There's a reason you get like Hyas. You see the fucking stupid star on the side of that truck that was bringing them up here.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Like, I was actually gonna bring that
Did
up.
you see the pictures of these little fucking brown Guatemalans wearing shirts, like brand new shirts that have the Star of David and like these oak leaves around? I'm like, where the fuck are they getting this shit? And they're like other brand new shirts with like feminazi propaganda bullshit on it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah,
we know what these and yeah, we're conspiracy mongers because we take the man's word for what it's
we
ridiculous.
don't take things at face value all the time. Therefore, we're conspiracy theorists and all this other bullshit.
Hey, to be fair, I guess you're just a whole bunch of
Racist.
Anti-Semites.
and you're talking about some very fucking anti-Semitic things, and
Counter-Semitic.
this is all just one giant coincidence.
Well, you can't spell coincidence without Cohen.
Coincidence.
But no,
So,
well, not only that, but apparently, like, countries like Argentina and some of these other South American states have fucking ties. Like, they were the first supporters of the state of Israel. Like, and so it's no surprise that they get help from the fucking chosen people.
Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society.
Yids.
Fucking yids.
if only we could do, start a Hebrew immigrant AIDS autoimmune disease society and spread that to the chosen people.
They were chosen by the AIDS.
I like the chat. There's like 10 people here, but there's only like 2 people talking. So I guess the rest are like some Hasbara shills, just keeping
Yeah.
tabs.
Yeah.
Hi, feds. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I put the link a couple
shills,
places.
whoever's watching.
We've got some good guys in chat too. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
we have
I'm just
some people looking up for us.
I'm just talking shit.
I know. I'm just, for every bad guy, for every 10 bad guys, there's at least one good guy out there. Oh fuck, we haven't hit 11 people yet.
All right, so all right, where were we at here?
Oh,
Do we want to keep
were at,
going
like,
with this,
13.
or
We
I mean,
were,
we
we were at 12 earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying though?
do we want to keep going with this? I mean, like
I,
we were saying earlier, I mean, it's just on its face retarded.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like this is on the birthright citizenship topic, right?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
we
this is the caravan. I mean,
the caravan.
kind of,
Well, they're
but yeah,
tied together. They're tied together.
yeah.
Dude, fucking intrinsically. Australia never had that kind of policy. Never.
What policy?
Birthright citizen.
Yeah, birthright
Oh, yeah.
citizenship.
It's like
So what makes a citizen in Australia?
basically you either have to be born of citizens, and if you're born of even a single parent that isn't a citizen, you have to go through an absolute shit ton of paperwork to make sure that you actually have allegiance to Australia.
Huh. So no two masters kind of situation either then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a ridiculous situation. Like basically Kevin Rudd, which was prime minister through like 2007 until Julia Gillard shanked him in the anus. Um, metaphorically. Um, he released a book recently where he talked about Mossad specifically, threatening to blackmail Australia, saying like, if you don't give the state of Israel more money in foreign aid, we will put Australian passports on the corpse of our next assassination, and we'll set you in trouble with Russia or Saudi Arabia or something like that, like some big international Jewish blackmail scheme. And Kevin Rudd said, "Go fuck yourself." And at the next assassination, they put an Israeli Australian passport on the corpse of this Hamas higher up they killed, and they were like, go fuck yourself. Obviously, Saudi Arabia, which is the country in which this guy was killed, it was like, you can't have an Australian Israeli passport. That's not a thing. And they called, obviously, they called the Australian embassy and was like, okay, this is illegitimate. Okay, so we accidentally let Mossad agents into our country. They killed someone. They tried to blackmail Australia for it. Okay.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Some of the
It sounds like some fucking traditional, Jewish skullduggery.
Yep.
I always hear the most fucked up shit out of Australia.
Well, that was in a book that is like literally in every Australian library right now about how the Jews try to blackmail our entire nation into giving them more money, and failed.
Well, at least they failed. You guys got lucky. We, on the other hand, are completely fucked over. We're giving $38 billion to Israel for fuck knows why.
Dude, you're
They'll
giving
probably-
them like $3.2 billion for this one installation.
It's probably gonna go up next year too. It's every fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like
$38 billion? What are you talking about? What do you need $44 billion for? Can't you? I mean,
What do you
can't
need
you spare
$56 billion for, Goy?
55 billion? Like, how about 100 billion? Just make it.
Goy! It's not enough, Goy!
It's fucking
man.
aggravating, man.
it'll never be enough. They brought down 2 fucking buildings, killed 3,000 people for 4.5 billion. So,
Oh, dude, I could talk about that for so long.
Oh,
my
man.
field is fucking engineering, I've got a pilot license as well. I've fucking handled A10 myself, like A1 myself, and avgas as well. Like it's A1 for love of God. It's a plane like that. It's A1. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, when it comes down to it, it's like even still to this day, they've changed our healthcare system because Australians don't need genetic screening. We have such a low rate of genetic birth defects and genetic issues because we're a mutt breed of fucking the UK. Um, for better for worse. But now we're like we're genetically screening people, and there's only one population that makes up a little over 12,000 people in this entire fucking country that that would be useful for. Can you guess who?
Hmm.
Mm.
It ain't the Aboriginals.
Mm.
It ain't the Asians.
Could it
Could
be?
it
It ain't
could it
the
be?
Lebanese.
Perhaps. Oh, good.
You're not allowed to notice that.
Oy vey.
The Tay-Sacks.
Excuse me, Mr. Goyim. Could you please stop noticing things?
Pattern recognition is anti-Semitic, isn't it?
Yeah, put on your gas mask now.
So like basically the Australian healthcare system, and like I talked to Eric Stryker about this. I was like it's focused on melanoma because a whole bunch of white guys in a high UV country. What the fuck do we get? Skin cancer. No shit. Also like basic anti-venom, fauna related stuff. Um, stuff related to the liver because we're tinny crunchers. Alcoholics. But yeah, so and a whole bunch of stuff actually related to the diseases we get. None of them are genetic.
No, they're all external
Maybe
from the sun
MS.
and the environment.
It's literally just like we're pretty fucking solid apart from MS, which we get MS, multiple sclerosis, and that's it. That's the only genetic disorder we have. So why spend like 20% of the funding of, national medical research on random genetic disorders like scoliosis?
I've never had. I don't know too many people with that problem.
Hmm. I guess you haven't been in Manhattan for long enough.
I've known quite a few people with
With broken
scoliosis.
spines.
Well, it's not broken. They just like it can be like so minute you can't even tell. But there's certain people where it's really bad. But I mean, it's just a curvature in your spine.
Curvature in your spine to the point where they literally can't fucking walk. I had this
Bless you.
Oh, they didn't hear that. I muted that.
Okay.
But I could only mute one
Nope.
microphone, so like you guys were the ones to hear it.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ, yeah. You snooze maxing over there, you dumb son of a bitch.
Crikey.
Okay.
No, I muted the stream so they couldn't hear me, but you guys could. So like,
It's like, what the fuck?
sorry
Go
about
right.
that,
I
Karen.
think Ruthless Goy has actually got it right. The weight of the nose does bend the spine.
Whew.
But yeah, it comes down to it. It's like basically our health system is being manipulated by Jews for very specific reasons. Shemming, which is the act of hand rubbing, generates a whole bunch of heat, which can cause calluses on the hand, which can cause skin infection.
Huh.
So it's not a good practice to do. It's not a very good practice to
Especially
do.
when my Tay-Sacks is acting up. Oh, good.
The only good Tay was, Tay AI. Press F.
Mm.
Press F for Tay.
F.
Ugh.
Okay. I guess we ran out of stories now, didn't we?
For now. Well, we can.
Cooked.
Well, we have. I think we have one more thing we can do.
What about the it's okay to be white?
We did that a little bit, but we didn't go over the whole
Okay.
Adelaide thing with the razor blades.
Oh, okay. Basically, Sarah Hanson Young, which is a Labour minister, which is a left-wing party in Australia, was basically some guys when you plaster her office, and she freaked out, and she fed us into it. And then like I talked about some guys. I was like, hey, like on the Ozpol, I was like, hey, did you guys do this? No one on Ozpol did it. I went to some other stuff and did some calling. Some of the other guys did some calling as well, and yeah, we found so many other people who did this. In fact, and now we're supplying them. We've got phone numbers, contact numbers, and we're calling them every single day. We're sending them more stuff, and it's only going to fucking increase from there. In fact, a fucking, direction I suggested to you earlier, we're going to accelerate it.
I didn't catch that. What'd you say? That last word?
We're going to accelerate the posters.
Yeah, no, like, we should definitely be, like, going out. If not, like, I'm not saying go out in public in mass and, like, do the giant thing, but I think we should do more flyerings and such. And, basically be out there and, like, getting our message out there. It is okay to be white. And sometimes it's even better.
And for those of you in the chat, I can't stress enough to join a local organization. You've got Patriot Front, you've got Identity Europa. Join up with these guys and go out and do activism. That's the best way to do it. It's like, go out with your friends, like-minded guys, have a good time, get some food, go do some flyering, put some stickers up, talk to people, do like community outreach. That's the best way.
For the love of God, even if you lose,
be nice, know your principle, know your arguments, know what you're going to say to these people, and just be 100% all the time when you go out there. Just act like
a normal person.
Yeah, exactly.
And now that also doesn't mean, like, if you don't pull someone over to our side, don't get discouraged. You can, carry on and bring it up. Make it. My recommendation is to make jokes. That's sometimes if you don't get them with arguments, try and make it funny.
Yep.
I would say, like, in totality. I mean, like, yeah, I guess so. Like, in totality, it's like, even if you don't win the fight, you've made a whole bunch of friends along the way. You've had some decent events along the way. If you're gonna be self-serving in that regard, you still win. But also, like, if you do win, congratulations. You've just made multi-generational friends, a community and a file that will support you, until the end of your fucking race, when that comes or comes not.
Sorry.
You eating over there, fam?
No, I'm like doing things in the background.
Are you clipping your nails, you dumb cunt?
That's not
that's me.
You clipping your nails on stream.
Fucker.
I didn't know you guys could hear it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, I can fucking hear it.
That means everybody
Like,
else can hear it.
like, +1 for hygiene, fucking -2 for timing, you fucking son of a bitch.
No.
And Joaquin caught me last week on stream clip.
How often do you need to clip your fucking nails? Jesus.
Dude, are you fucking teenage fucking werewolf or some shit? Do you grow like fucking claws every night?
They grow pretty quick.
I mean,
Jesus fucking Christ,
no. Now,
you.
now, to go on to one thing, when you're out in public, don't fucking goose step out, throw Roman salutes every which fucking way and everything else, because you're gonna put off everybody. We're trying, because some people say that we're out of people to pull, but I still think there's plenty of people to convince. There's Generation Zyklon we still get pull from, and that's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Look good.
That's
those
my
kids,
favorite.
Those kids are gonna be the future. They are the future of our nation. This is some good guys.
So cons. But yeah, like, yeah, I will say look good. Granted,
exude what the quintessential idea in our heads of what we like. Everybody's seen the video, like the guy, like the cartoon video about the alt-right. I think it came from Dino Spumoni or whatever, but like
from the alt-right.
Be strong, good looking. Do your hair up, make sure your hair is nice, dress nice, go out and just present yourself as a decent, put together, normal human being, and just do outreach.
Dude, it's for love of God, like
They'll eat it
the
up.
last, yeah, like it's like the last thing that I fucking wanted to ask Richard Spencer before you came and fucking dragged me off stage was fitness, because there are a lot of the Australian guys, whether it's the TRS pool parties, local groups, or etc. Say like the actual image of these guys are there. It's not the best, and you know, corn syrup, da 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 da. It comes down to the point of like just cut your diet. You know, you guys are bulked enough. Start cutting, and then go to a fucking gym. Lad Society. The first thing Lad Society sets up in a state is a gym for a fucking reason. So yeah, it's one of those points. Like I've been told by some of the guys that I met in the US that I was the Australian version of a message from the alt right. Um, oddly enough, but yeah, it's one of those things like that's very fucking important over here, and we've tried to instill it to the point where one of our guys was prying a 2-liter Mountain Dew from the leader of a Colorado sect.
The leader of a rut?
Colorado.
I don't know what that is.
The state? The state called it?
They are pulling a 2 liter of Mountain Dew from Colorado.
Out of the hands of a Colorado leader.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
was he just drinking the whole fucking thing to himself?
During the fucking meeting, just drinking it.
Jesus Christ.
And one of our boys over here, we call him the War Knight occasionally, because he's actually a knight.
Oh,
So yeah, like we had him over there, and you don't do that in front of him.
no. I
You-
mean, I drink soda. I stopped for like a long time. I need to quit, but
Stop it.
it's the reason why I do is because it was more of a nostalgia thing recently because I was traveling and I seen something I hadn't had since I was like 10. So I was like, I'll grab 2 bottles of this, but I don't drink it in one fucking sitting. That's absurd.
Well, there we go. Just reduce your fucking sugar intake, mate.
But
It's like
I
it
go
comes
to,
down to that.
I go to the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week. Like I'm not.
There we go.
I'm not. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's how I got here. I'm fat. I'm a big guy, but I'm trying to fix myself. I'm like I'm one of those strong fat kind of types, but I need to get cut, and that's what I'm working on.
Yep. Cut a little more.
Get you some Winnie
There we
V.
go.
I need to get back on the keto. I dropped like 20 pounds doing that, but went back up 10 from not doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, keto.
Keto's
Keto
good.
like changed my mom's life, dude.
In fact, something I learned from I mean, granted, like if you're like large to the point of like skin stretching, I don't know if this applies to you, but if you're not, um, something I learned from a U.S. serviceman is the water fasting, where they drink water and they've got like they take every now and then they take salt with potassium ions in it, or potassium chlorate, which is salt for like people who are intolerant to sodium chloride. So yeah, it's like they do that for about a week, and they'll lose like X many pounds. I believe that he was a fit man at the time, a proper Navy deck technician. He lost like 10 pounds in a week.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna do something like this, but I'm gonna explain to Hex. Okay, what keto is because he's in the chat asking about it. Yeah, keto is high protein, low carb. What you usually do is you can eat bacon, eggs, and all this other good shit, but you gotta read your labels, make sure you're not intaking any bread. You can't really drink too much milk because they load that shit up with sugar these days. But yeah, it converts your main source of energy to fat, so that way you're run out of carbs basically. And you start burning fat like a motherfucker, and you'll lose weight really quick. But I recommend if you do run on the keto diet to lose weight, make sure you take supplements because you lose a lot of vitamins from doing this kind of diet. It's make sure you keep your salt up too because you will you'll start to shit yourself like no tomorrow.
Yep.
You'll get diarrhea.
Yeah.
Whole milk is
No
also
fiber.
full of, get some good fiber. if you can, like peanuts are okay, but don't eat too many. But
Well, it's from the things that have fiber, things are gonna fuck up the diets. You know, just wreck Uranus for the weight loss. To be honest.
yeah, um, but no, like most milk that you buy in stores is like loaded with 13 grams of sugar per cup. So I check,
Yeah.
I check my labels before I go and buy shit usually.
I was at a Walmart in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Um, and I was sending pictures of the products. Like there was a Subway at the back of the Walmart. A Subway in a mall. That was shocking to me as an Australian. It was shocking. And then like they had the dicks that shared like a wall with it, and the dicks had like the shotgun lines. I didn't really care. Like fuck it. It's is it shocking to me? Yes. Is it bad? No. Fuck it. Show those fucking guns off in the store. Fuck it. Um, but the only thing that shocked me was there was so much variety of high corn syrup, sodas, and snacks, and pretzels, and cereals and stuff like that. I was sending photos to my sister, and I was like, it was the brands that we had in Australia were less than half the sugar content of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Now you have to be careful. Like, now the thing about this diet too is that it's actually good to be high in fat in this case, but some people are telling me it has some negative effects, like on your liver or something. But I haven't really read anything about it.
Any large change in your body is negative on your liver.
Because it's just racking. Because you just
Yeah, dude, everything needs to go through somewhere, go out in some way,
yeah,
and most of it gets pissed out.
right.
And you know what's fucking in charge of pissing shit out?
Liver in your bladder.
Yep.
But you'll be like, you're the thing. That's why the liver can heal as well as it does, though, because you take the damage, but then it'll heal itself. We're gonna. I think we got one more topic to go over, and this is the hard segue. Making that harsh slam into. You want to talk about those animals over in with the
Oh,
Chinese?
dude. Yeah, this is fucking really uncool.
Dear fucking god, mate.
The Chinese are fucking monsters when it comes to animals.
They really are. The fucking the festival every year with the fucking dogs and like, dude, I've seen footage. Those people are fucking savages.
I have a soft
They're
spot for
just as much
dogs and stuff. Like whenever I see that shit, I'm not gonna lie, I shed a tear.
That shit makes my fucking blood boil, dude. Like it's a defenseless fucking animal. What the fuck's the matter with you? Like, why?
Well, we call them xenomorphs over here for a reason.
You call them what?
Xenomorphs.
Over here, we call them the Jews of Asia.
There's also another name for them. We call them jaundice Jews.
But
Anyway, so like talking about the liver and the liver failing and everyone turning yellow because you're pissing inside yourself. Yeah, jaundice Jews. And only a fucking Jew who was having the problem of liver failure would think up of a way to encage an animal in fucking vacuum molded plastic, so they would die eventually. Would actually do something like this.
right, they basically just seal them in a fucking air bubble and let them die slowly. It's
There
really
we go.
shitty.
Jesus
Like-
Christ.
Oh yeah, no, and they do this with not just all one type of animal. They do it with fish. They do it with turtles, lizards, any kind of water animal, really. So you can wear it on your hip for funsies.
Yeah. Just killing animals for fun.
Now,
Slowly.
like it's one thing.
Hello, Pee Wee Herman.
That was pretty good. But no, I'm
Dude, it's called Pee Wee Herman right there.
now I'm okay with you go out and hunt an animal and you eat it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But these people fucking torture animals to the point of they're not.
As a fashion statement. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is the matter with you people?
Well, not only that, but their dog eating festival thing. They don't
Yeah.
kill the dogs slowly. Like they kill the dogs
Yeah.
slowly and ruthlessly. It's fucking absurd.
It's horrible.
Like you know how like we kill we kill a cow, right? We take a metal rod and we shatter its
Instant,
we instantly kill it with a rod that basically
Impact punch.
instant
yeah.
death.
You know what they do? They take a metal bar and they hit it in the head 10 times maybe until it's twitching
Yeah,
and bleeding all over the place. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking ridiculous.
it's
Dude, in our movement, we've got contract hunters, and we've got, like the contract hunters I deal with, like, they get, a contract from a property owner. So like, I need X, X many Y dead. Um, and they go out and they do that, but they will never take a shot that they know is not a humane kill shot. I've spoke to this one large, Italian lad up in the hills, and I was with him one day, and he's like, and I was saying, take the shot, take the shot. He's like, no, no, it's not a solid shot. It's not a solid shot on that kangaroo. And he waited for a good fucking minute, nearly lost it, took it again, and waited until the shot was a dead shot. He probably like what if you fucking crippled the thing in the first shot? He probably could have gained an extra X amount of money on the contract, but he didn't because he's principled, because he actually cares for the suffering of sentient beings, to a reasonable fucking degree.
Right.
But yeah, it comes down to that.
Right. And I was always raised that if you're gonna kill something, you're gonna eat that crate. You're gonna eat it. That's how I was
Yeah.
raised.
use the pelt. Use the animal, eat it. Like, don't just
But
like. I get guys that like fucking go hunting for sport. I still
Mm.
just, I mean, I get the allure of wanting to kill that big fucking animal and stick it above your pool table or whatever. It's just, it's fucking silly to me, man. And there's no reason to just needlessly kill animals. If you're gonna kill an animal, eat the fucking thing. Use the
ecofascism
pelt.
game.
Yeah, ecofascism gang. To be honest, like
Gang,
that's the
gang!
reason why there's a reason why we fucking encourage so many eco people in our movement. It's like well, for starters, like every single pelt that all of our contract hunters have ever actually dealt with has been properly dealt with, properly cured, properly tanned, either sent to America for whips or brought over here for stuff. In fact, it's one of our most popular materials for uniforms over here is kangaroo leather.
I had some when I used to race carts. I had a set of gloves that were kangaroo leather, and it was the most like softest, supple leather that I'd ever felt.
I was gonna say, I grew up. My dad was a deer hunter. I was never old enough, and by the time we moved, the place we lived to didn't have a lot of deer. But the whole thing was just like they don't like the idea of wasting the meat, so it sucks because there'd be times where they'll wound a deer and not get a kill shot on it sometimes, and one time they were telling me a story of how like four of them were looking for the deer because they thought each person thought they hit it, and they went and found it and they thought it died.
But it didn't.
No, well,
Nope.
what happened is when they went to when they got up close to it, it jumped up, and they all pulled the trigger on the deer, and
It's like 5 guys shot into it at once. or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
it basically destroyed the meat, and they were
Oh man,
because they were
I
using
agree.
they were using slugs, but they killed it. That was a dead deer, but no, you couldn't eat it because it was all tore up.
yeah.
Well, there's some fucking like when you're dealing with kangaroos specifically, like video
What the fuck?
there's someone is having a
What?
problem.
Are you belly
What?
drumming? What are you doing?
What's going on over there?
What were you doing? I just heard slapping.
I heard slapping too.
Oh no, that's me. I'm slapping my knees. My bad.
I can hear
Fucking
that.
microphone. I have my gain. I have my gain on this mic all the way down, and it picks up fucking everything.
Dude, I could fucking pick up knee slapping. Okay, so like if kangaroos have a weird fucking internal set because they're marsupials, which is like an offset of mammals. Um, Their adrenal gland is so easy to collapse. If you shoot them in the chest, the pressure gain, no matter where you shoot them, center of mass, will collapse their adrenal gland and cause them to sprint off faster than Usain Bolt to the tree line. And they will die and bleed out where you can never find them. You shoot them dead center in the face, their fucking teeth are so hard. They're like fucking 60 Rockwell hardness or some shit like that. They're
Goddamn.
so fucking hard. Their bones are so thick as well in the front of the face that it won't kill them. You'll just fucking maim them so bad that they'll fucking run off into the tree line screaming for their life. The only place you can get a kill shot on a kangaroo is in the side of the head,
Right through the ear.
right through the ear,
Yeah.
right through the little dip where the temple is. It's like that's the only spot we actually can kill them cleanly, and that's why the guys that I used to go out with, used to spot for, they used to be so fucking meticulous about that. Can't shoot them in the neck. You can't shoot them in the face, proper. You can only shoot them in this inch by inch fucking section of their head, and that's it.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
With deer, my old man always told me aim behind the shoulder, because you'll either hit the lungs or you'll hit the heart,
Yep.
and you'll basically kill them fast. You know, they won't live very long if they do survive.
The idea is to make them not suffer.
Right. Well, not only that, but you preserve as much of the animal as you can. You're not there.
Yeah.
You're not there to ruin everything and destroy it. Now the
You're
difference
there for a reason, and you're not there to torture,
right.
and you're also not there to be a cunt. There we go.
On the
But
same,
you are there for a reason.
right. Now on the same note, my dad also doesn't like shooting him in the head because he likes to keep the skulls for trophies.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't?
But we eat most of the fucking deer, and it lasts us for the winter or so, or at least most of it, and it was great. Growing up as a kid, I miss those days because you don't see that much anymore with most families, especially out up north. Like you'll get a few people, but out here in like New York, you don't see a lot of. You see a few hunters here and there, but a lot of people are afraid of guns. And I don't understand it.
Because that's what we've been, the programming on TV's just programmed us to be scary of the evil fully semi-automatic assault weapon
Now,
with the bump stock
who here has that?
30 caliber clip.
Jesus.
Dear fucking God, man.
Now, I have a little gun story for you guys. Now, I had a buddy of mine who, he had a revolver. He was fucking around with it, and, he just got it. He was like pointing it and shit. And then he pointed it at my sister. It wasn't loaded, but I was like, don't
Jesus.
I was like, don't point that at her. I was like, he's like, it's not loaded. I was like, I don't care. You need to learn gun safety. It's like,
Yeah, you need to.
I put myself between her and the gun. Like, I would sooner take a bullet to the chest and let, my sister die. I point, it'd probably still hit her, but it'd likely not kill her. I would rather say,
Yeah.
and there aren't many people left in this world that'll, put their life on the line like that for someone else, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah. So what ended up happening? He just like, hey, don't fucking do that. Did he stop?
Yeah, he stopped. He put the gun down, and he's like, all right,
It's like, who knows? Like, why do you do that? I've met like a handful of people in my life. I've had miniguns, and I would show them to people, and they would just, start fucking pointing it all over the fucking place. I'm like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? Like,
I keep mine either pointed up or pointed at the ground.
yeah, either down or up and down range.
Right, and then what was it? You make sure no one's in front of the barrel. I started when I was with my brother. I started pointing the gun up because the dog, when I had it pointed down, the dog came running up and tried to bite the end of the barrel. I was like, you fucking retard. Why would you try to do something like that, you fucking idiot?
Fucking idiot.
So, like, it's a fucking, old fucking saying, never point your gun at anything unless you fucking intend to kill it.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
But I was just like, I looked down at the dog and I was like trying to chew on the end of the barrel. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Pull trigger.
Well, look, like I said, the gun wasn't loaded, but I was still pulling the barrel away from the fucking dog because gun safety.
Yeah, what breed was it? What breed was it?
I think it was a cur or something, but it was a dog they took in that was like stray dog that
Yeah.
they knew who it like they found the owner, but the owner wouldn't come and take the dog back, so they just held on to it and took
Well,
care of her.
if it was a pit bull, I'd say, pull the trigger. But
I think she's mixed with pit bull, but I don't think she's full breed because her head's not big enough. But
anyway, so
I think she's a cur of some sort.
Staffordshire Terrier, maybe.
No, I don't
yeah,
know.
Steph Terriers, the fucking
Maybe it was a
prime
Rhodesian. Maybe it was
of the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah, no, it probably wasn't, but
Yeah, it's, anyway, so the fucking see off, lads, eh?
yeah. I think we can actually get ready to call it an end here. We've had a pretty decently long show. We've been going for about an hour and 30.
Yeah, 30. Fair enough, man.
All right. Do you guys have any final words?
Nope, nothing for me.
No. All right. What about you, Nolan? Oh,
What?
he already left.
What?
He already left.
Oh, he's just like, sorry,
Whoops.
gents, gotta bounce.
All right. Well, my name is Zeke Kyle. This has been and Pinochet Bolin, our last Mike Nolan.
And that was Mike Nolan.
That was Mike Nolan. Yes. I'll talk to the chat for a short while before we sign off. But Hex, you were saying you wanted to say something to me, right? If you're still here.
Who?
Hex in the chat.
Oh.
I could be wrong.
Let's see.
Will I what? Will
Let's look here in the chat.
Because he was saying, let's see. They said something to me about wanting to check something. All right. Oh yeah, I'll talk to you guys.
Oh,
yeah, Jones is doing a D-Live thing right now. I think he's either getting it ready or setting it up. Underwater Alex Jones.
I tried to do live on my phone last night, and it apparently does not like that. So I think I just.
I'll link you. I'll link his D-Live in the chat so you guys can follow that. And...
Oh, also, let me. We were talking about this earlier. The Soros, the article that Soros penned.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that.
All right, this will be our last bit, and then we'll be checking out.
Oh no, it's This is just so you can put it in the description afterwards.
D-Live is going to be an alternative for YouTube live streams.
What?
I'm talking to the chat. Sorry.
Oh gosh, I'm dumb.
I'm jumping back and forth. Yeah, the Ralph Retort is jumping over there. What do you think we should call the show?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh man, I have to sit and think about it for a little while.
I mean, this first episode. Because we're calling. This is Carpe Noctem. We are seizing the night. We are. We will push back the darkness.
I don't know. It's got to be kind of a.
We'll come up with something.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it.
I'm still trying to find. I can't even remember who posted the link to that article, but I'll find it too. It's a little rocky.
We'll be covering mostly like small news bits. I want to try and keep it somewhat shorter so that way we don't run over into other time slots and such. I'm gonna try and aim for, if you're able to, Pinochet, we can try and do morning shows because it kind of helps with Nolan's time slot too. Unless does that not work with you or not?
What's
like a morning time slot?
I wanted to do a morning time slot. Initially, that's why I got why Joaquin hooked us up.
Right.
But that was when I was
Not
like
working.
things have changed, and yeah, things have changed, and I'm probably going to be, I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like.
The morning gas.
But I'll find out. I'll find out sometime this week, and then I'll be able to make a decision then,
All
or
right.
at least let you guys know what's going on. So.
If not, we can move it into the afternoon. But
If I end up like, if it's a thing where like I go in to work late in the morning, then I could probably do a morning stream,
right.
and I'm hoping that's what I get because
Right. We'll
an
eventually
untapped
have to.
market.
We'll eventually have to move into the noon slot time anyway because of my work too.
Yeah.
That's if I still have my job.
It's like,
Yeah. Anyway. All
make
right.
sure your shitlib neighbors don't find out what you do.
Well, I'm more worried about my shitlib roommates.
Oh God.
Oh, good.
I mean, he already calls me a Nazi anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Does he like legit? Is he like a
He's
Bernie bro or something? You get
no, he's like he's apolitical, but he thinks that globalism is the way.
oh God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think we should call this a quits, though. This is our first episode of Carpe Noctem. Y'all have a great night. I think Jim's stream should be starting soon enough.
I'm gonna go check that out.
And if he's got one going today. Anyway, y'all take care, and where's that stop button?
Take it easy, gang.
Well, oh yeah, remember one last thing. 148 gang gang.
Gang, gang.
Bye.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later.